guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back at one of my favorite locations because guess what? We have this 2020 Volkswagen Jetta R-Line. But before we get into this compact sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. So the compact sedan segment is one of those groups of vehicles where there's a lot of tough competition. Everything from the Hyundai Elantra, the Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla, the list goes on and on and on. The Mazda 3. What Volkswagen wants to bring with this Jetta R-Line is definitely their unique German styling, but also that R-Line spec brings some extra fine touches. And when it comes to interior comfort, Volkswagen says they've hit the nail on the head. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2020 Jetta R-Line and see, is it the best compact sedan for your money? Right off the bat, like I was telling you, very unique styling with the Jetta, very German-esque, and that makes sense. Volkswagen, that people's car, that German brand. So when looking up at the front fascia, you're gonna see headlight housing, get LED headlights, come standard with the R-Line, the chrome trim looking really good. You work your way down, you're gonna have lower fog lamps and a functional side air curtain. I really think it's so smart the way that Volkswagen takes that front splitter and builds it into the front fascia, gives it a super clean look. Now, when we come across the center grille, like I said, Volkswagen, the people's car, Fahrvergnügen and all that, horizontal gloss black slots. You have your vertical as well, functional up top, functional on the bottom. We do have our R-Line badge. Remember, usually when you see R, you think ultimate performance, but R-Line is bringing some of that great style at a very good price. Now, as we work our way down below, you have flat black here, and this is gonna be fully functional. But like I was telling you, instead of having an actual front splitter, they actually add that into the front fascia, that nice bright metallic silver. Now, when we get up onto the hood, simple body lines. You have a nice rise, goes all the way back towards the windshield, and then you have some peaks and some curves that go towards the A-pillar, super clean. We come around the bend, what are we working with on the R-Line? These are your R-Line specific 17-inch wheels. Love the split spoke design, 205 on the width, meaty 55 series sidewall, but working well. They're a shade darker. They're not the same exact color of this particular vehicle, a little bit darker, and they really stand out nice. Now, you are gonna get this tasteful badge on the side, the R-Line badge, a little bit of chrome. It's not meant to look like a vent, and it's not trying to look like a vent, so I'm happy about that. R-Line, you're gonna get blacked out mirror caps. We do have this nice large sunroof. The only zonk is that did not black out the rest of the roof. You do get a blacked out shark fin antenna though. Very, very strong, prominent belt line. Also down below, you're gonna get a nice prominent body line. Gives it multi-level dimensional look to it. You get to the rear, you see that belt line comes all the way nice into the trunk area. You have your LED lighting, your Jetta badge, super clean, and then we're gonna do the test. That's a 5-finger zonk. Those are fake exhausts. I wish that they were at least decorative trim rings with some exhaust pipes, but other than that, super clean from the back. Let's go ahead though, pop the hood and see what's powering this Jetta R-Line. All right guys, you do have a prop rod. I am gonna zonk it, especially, it's kind of a little bendy there, a little too bendy for my liking, but underneath that hood is a 1.4 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 147 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. It is weighing in at 2,888 pounds. Here's where you're really gonna win though. You're gonna get 30 MPGs in the city, 40 on the highway. This does have an electronic diff lock, which is called Volkswagen's cross differential system, 0 to 60 in about 7.6 seconds and a top speed of 127 miles per hour. Looking out underneath the hood, no plastic cover. I could clearly see the turbo, but why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see what big things this R-Line spec Jetta brings to the table. All right guys, we're on the inside of this 2020 Jetta R-Line. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, well, I'm looking at compact sedans. I'm looking at all the brands that you mentioned, including some more. How much is this particular one? MSRP, and this has an 8-speed automatic transmission, no CVT. You're looking at $24,400. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Classy door panel, little bit of gloss, but the rest of it's a nice bright silver. I like the simplicity in the door panel. You do have this leatherette style material on the armrest and the back portion of the door panel. Little tight on the door pocket though. Maybe a 6-inch cold cut combo. You better go real light on the mayonnaise and mustard, and a bottle of Coca-Cola to wash it down. Dash, I love this silver treatment. It's not trying to be carbon fiber or anything. Looks tasteful, soft touch. You have an 8-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me go ahead and turn it on here for you. We could go to our menu setting, real nice swipe feature, and then you could go into your climate control. Look at that, look how clear that is. You can control all your different settings. Go back to menu. We could go into vehicle, all those readouts, but very fast reacting if you notice that. And then I go back to menu again. Drop down, AC vents, blend in pretty clean. You're gonna have dual climate control, heated seats, which is great. You work your way down, you have a nice cubby here. You could easily put about 6 Musketeers bars, 2 USBs, a 12 volt. There's a ton of dead buttons, but the good news is you do have an eco mode. You have that 8-speed automatic and a nice bright silver start stop button. I'll actually move it out of the way so Victor could show it off. Very tasteful. Move it back. I like all the silver accents. 2 cup holders, your standard Volkswagen key fob, nothing too crazy. You got a nice little place to put your garage door opener, or you could put Slim Jims in there, those short little Slim Jims. Semi-soft on the armrest. I do like the stitching. We open it up and guess what? You could probably put about 8 Snickers bars in there or 8 Twinkies, whatever your choice is. And there's some felt lining in there so they won't get scratched, which is good. Nobody wants to scratch Snickers bar. I like the soft material. I like the two-tone. This off-white with the dark really pops nicely. Manual seat control for the passenger. I have full power assist, and we have that oversized sunroof, which is really nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this R-Line Jetta. All right, guys, we have our easy to get to manual seat controls. What's nice is that it's that pump system, which allows you to raise and lower the seat very, very easily. Seats are comfy. I got plenty of headroom in here being 8 feet tall. You do have a tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Like the leather, the contrast stitching, classy horn button with the Volkswagen logo. You got your R-Line, flat bottom, just a little bit of gloss black, but it's classy. And then you're gonna have your R-Line specific gauges there. So you have the red background, makes it look clean. You have that small digital display in the center that's easy to toggle through. Lots of different information, which is wonderful, and just allows you to just be at ease. I do like the way it's very driver focused here. It's a little tilted towards you because you're the most important. You're the captain of the ship. You should get everything at your own touch. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna like this compact sedan. All right, guys, back seat time, and you know what? Actually, a lot of great usable space. They do notch out the back to give you a little bit more leg room. My only zonk is no 12 volt or anything back here. But remember, we are looking at MSRP at $24,000, so they still pack a lot of value. I like the pocket here. You could easily put a couple bananas. Let's be healthy. Granola bars, bananas, even maybe make it a nice yogurt parfait. Put some blueberries on top. But you can see I'm 6 feet tall. Headroom is great. Pull this guy down. I'm not gonna zonk it because they give you plenty of real estate, plus 2 cup holders, plus a place to put some Jolly Ranchers in the center. You ever had a Sprite, drop some Jolly Ranchers in it? Makes it kind of interesting taste. Try it out. Put it back, seats look great. Let's get to that trunk and see how much room is in this Jetta. All right, guys, time to check out what we could put in the trunk. Open it up, nice wide opening. We do have a few things back there to give you an idea of what it looks like. You're looking at 14.1 cubic feet of space, plus you have the levers here. Seats will do a 60-40 tango, allow you to go to Costco, get as much as you want, as much as you need, and get it stored in the Jetta. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this R-Line for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Volkswagen Jetta R-Line, pulling out of our filming location. And right away, what I love about the Jetta is the interior. The seats are super, super comfortable. More comfortable than Civic seats. I'm even gonna say probably even more comfortable than Corolla. On par, maybe Mazda 3 seats are a little bit more comfortable, and it's definitely more comfortable than the Elantra. I do like the way they have it very driver focused, like I showed you earlier with the infotainment system. Easy to get to, easy reach. You got, of course, your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto. Visibility out the front is wonderful. Nice soft touch material on the dash. It's kind of interesting because I like the design of the dash. I think for the passenger, it's a little unique of an experience because of the way the dash kind of comes to a point on their side. But boy, oh boy, for the driver, everything is placed perfectly. You have that 8-speed automatic transmission, which is great. No CVTs here. Looking out the back, super clear. Side mirrors, they're on the smaller side, but they do have plenty of real estate to show you what's going on in your blind spots. I do like the fact that this has dual climate control, and it's easy to get to the controls. You got your 2 USBs, one for you, one for your passenger, right in that nice cubby. And if you're not charging your phones, you got plenty of space for those candy bars and snacks. All right, guys, let's do a little acceleration test. I'm gonna slow down a little bit on throttle. So very, very smooth shifts. The 8-speed drop down very nicely. It pulls all the way to the rev range. And you know what? For as small as a displacement engine it is, when you're going down this highway like I am right now, it feels really, really good. You actually have some decent power when changing lanes or when you're trying to merge. So that's great news. And what I'm really liking on top of everything else is just how smooth the drive is. Now, the way it rides, especially over these expansion joints, soaks everything up. I'm noticing a little more wind noise that I would like to hear while I'm driving, but really nothing more than compared to the competition. Steering feel is on the lighter side. So if you like steering that's super, super light, you're gonna like the Jetta compared to, say, a Civic or a Mazda 6. Instrumentation, very, very straightforward. You have the digital display in the center. Everything else is analog, and it makes it easy to see at a glance what you're looking at. It would be nice to have, especially since we're in an R-Line, to have wireless charging, but still, for $24,000, you're getting a lot of compact sedan for the money, especially with a sunroof to boot. All right, guys, I want to do a little acceleration from a dead stop, just leaving it in automatic mode on throttle. You actually break traction once you go about 5,000 RPM, but then the traction control kicks in. But really, really smooth on the shifts. Over the bumps, I'm telling you, it soaks it up really, really well. And the chassis definitely feels balanced, for sure. You can manually shift with the shifter. There are no paddles behind the steering wheel, but the one thing I do like about the Jetta is you don't have to worry about putting it in different modes, but that's also one of the bad things as well, because for me, the steering is just a little light and a little vague. So just something to be aware of. I think you're gonna get definitely a more engaging drive with the Civic or the Mazda 3 for sure. But really, through these tight turns, very composed, as you would expect. We're not pushing it. This isn't an R version of the Jetta. It's not the Jetta GLI, which we have reviewed the Jetta GLI on Rady's Rise, so check that out. But for being an R-Line, for being a standard Jetta, it does ride very, very nicely, and it is quite capable. And like I said, I think where you're really gonna win, those wonderful MPGs for sure. Let me do another acceleration test. I'll come to a stop here real quick. On throttle. I tell you, the engine does a great job pulling all the way to redline, and redline's around 6,500 RPM. So that's another nice facet of the engine, is that being turbocharged, sometimes those vehicles run out of steam the higher you go in the rev range. This thing pulls all the way. You are waiting a little bit for the boost, but not much. And then, like I said, having that 8-speed, I think really is just the icing on the cake. And remember, we do have that special differential on this particular trim, which is great. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the Jetta R-Line is all about for 2020. We're gonna get back to where it all began and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day. with this Volkswagen Jetta R-Line. I definitely got to thank everybody at Volkswagen for allowing Rady's Rise access to this press fleet vehicle. It really shows that in the compact segment, even though competition is fierce, Volkswagen is bringing a lot for your hard-earned money, that big value precedent with this R-Line. You're really going to get great MPGs, and if you like that clean German styling, they hit the nail on the head. But if you want to keep seeing compact sedans on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to get out to Crown Vic, busting his butt out here, getting it done. Thank you for your hard work, Victor. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.